PSY-POD. PSY-POD.
Ready? We're gonna start off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, PSY-POD number 10, and welcome to my guys.
We finally made it. We've made it. We are at double digits, lads.
Hurrah! Cheers, brothers!
Cheers. Huzzah!
Huzzah!
Huzzah, bitch.
Huzzah!
You want Granny to take her teeth out for you?
Please don't speak like that. Please.
You like Granny's teeth out, don't you? It sounds like a weird mix of Palpatine.
Come to the dark side, Anakin. You will like it there.
I've never watched Star Wars before.
Me too.
But I know the references. What people are talking about.
I'm the high ground, Anakin.
You know,
Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
And you misheard in a minute. Luke, I am your father. No.
it's
Yeah.
never.
It's
It's actually no.
No,
I am your father. But then many people, I think it sounds cooler to people when he says, Luke, I am your father. So that's actually a shared Mandela effect that everyone has. Okay.
Beans and Hogwarts.
I am your father.
I was molded, man. You think darkness is around us? You made it
So,
step into darkness.
If this madness isn't evident, we are now at episode number 10. We finally hit the double digits.
When we were in episode number 100, then you have my permission to die. We did so well that they couldn't even get a guest, so they put the cameraman as the guest.
The cameraman.
Do you feel in charge?
Where'd you steal this shirt from? I want to know.
Yes.
Music so just time the budgies.
I was similar to Guinea, but Khatsan Moment, I had a little tropical kind of themed shirt.
You know, Tenzin always wants me to wear tropical themed shirts and I refuse. Like, I always go for black and darker colors.
Because that's
Reflects
just
my
like your
soul.
soul.
No, it doesn't reflect my soul or anything. It's just, I think darker colors are safer choices. Like, I think you look good in black no matter
Yeah, black
what,
is very,
what you wear.
very
Yeah.
neutral.
Like, you can go to a celebration in black. You can go to a birthday party in black.
You can't go to a celebration in black.
You can go to a funeral in
You
black.
can't go to a celebration in black.
I've gone to a few celebrations in black.
You went to a wedding in black?
Yeah.
That's fucking out of...
I wore a black
You
coat.
can't do that. Etiquette man, wrong mean, man.
During weddings.
Oh, you too,
I've
man.
been to a wedding.
You never been to a wedding? You went
Putin's wedding, yeah.
You went to a...
I was about to say, yeah.
Putin's wedding the Mahis.
I've been in a black coat.
And she dreamed more yesterday.
Yeah, I was in the wedding yesterday.
I was wondering, like, chill Ramdus boom did.
Man.
Antozi.
They were in the Chiba.
Perspective.
Perspective. Hashtag number 9 reference.
Sorry, Autani.
In all honesty, Autaliman is not a little person. He just was leaning really far back.
See?
That's
See?
Or like, do that again.
Okay.
Do that again. Hi, sigh.
And Gandalf symbol. Much hobbits over here.
We are the hobbits.
Samwise and Frodo.
Okay, I can't get it.
Please do nothing unnatural.
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh.
Isn't that what?
Oh, Bilbo, take off your pants.
Gladly. Wouldn't you like to fill my ring of Sauron?
Take out your fly, you fool.
My precious.
Anyway.
I can do a pretty decent impression of Gollum.
So guys, just to give you all an update, since both of you are involved in this, 6 episodes of Get a Bee have been scripted and completed, and now we have sent those over to Samu for their content team to review. So it's all up to them. Hopefully they don't have many drastic changes to the sketches, because some of the sketches get a little dark.
Yeah, Chasing Stars is doing pretty well, Mush.
They released the OST, you know.
Yeah, I heard the OST in full.
Oh, it's a whole...
Yeah, the whole OST. I mean, sorry, the whole song for
Soundtrack.
Chasing Star. Love the first part.
Why?
Just personal preference. Like the whole that na. Yeah, that I really like that part. After that, I sort of tune out everything else. But that's just That's a very bad
That's
approximation.
a horrible impression.
But then again, that's nothing against the song. It's just I'm not the biggest fan of the second half of that song.
All right.
My younger brother's been singing it a lot though.
He's into the show.
I don't think he's watched the show.
He's just into the song.
Yeah, he's into the song. My younger brother has this weird thing. He sings with his whole body.
How do you sing with your whole body?
So, my younger brother and I, we have this thing of singing when we do the dishes, right? So whenever I observe him singing, I always hear him, and then I just have to watch him from behind, and he'll be like, so he's singing a song, right? So he'll be like, na 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 na, and then suddenly, suddenly a vibrato, like a part hits where he has to vibrate his vocals, and he go, na na. He'll like move his whole body. It's cute on a 22-year-old.
Okay, it didn't go that way.
Okay. So what have you been up to? What music video have you been filming?
What's the music video? Let's give a little sneak peek.
Yeah, so I was shooting a music video yesterday at Dochula. It's called Ride With Me, 0 budget. But
yeah,
we made one song under 2 hours, but sounds okay, so we thought we'd make a music video out of it.
Yeah.
You also do that YouTube challenge that a lot of musicians do, where they just like in 1 hour they try to make a full song. No. In that case, you had the music being made for you by the beatboxers. Like you actually had. In this challenge, you actually have to sit behind your computer, make your own beats.
But surprisingly, like everything fell in place. Like we went to Dochila, we didn't have it was called Ride With Me, so we didn't have like fancy vehicles. We were thinking of shooting near Marti 800 motion.
No.
But yeah, biker this one, the uncle this.
Yeah, they chipped in, huh?
Okay, man. The background of this, so yeah.
Did you have bitches?
It's a rap track, right?
Yeah, it's a parody actually, making fun of cheap stuff.
I can. Oh, it's kind of like what's that song by Macklemore? Yeah, Thrift Shop. Yeah.
Yeah, now we fake G's ginbe. Like there's one bar called "Fake G's on my feet, labba." So yeah.
I can just imagine those biker dudes in the background, like.
You mean the uncle to God what say
that? That's a good bit. The song is not supposed to be taken seriously.
Yeah, you're just supposed to have fun with it.
No, don't think.
I cringe when I look at my own music videos. Like I look at some of my own music videos, I'm like, I wish I hadn't done that.
Why? What particularly?
But now I've made a decision that whenever I finish making my own originals and I still have to make a music video, I will not. The camera is not going to be on me. That's for sure. I'll hire other people to be the actors. I can't.
Lip syncers.
Oh,
you be like Sia. You wear the Sia wig now. You be like, you want to swing?
Das Bang zum Din, man.
Oh, Sasti, Musti.
No, but like that wasn't an attic, by the way.
Remember.
You know, Ngachiki, when you're gonna build houses, you season the wood, right? The wood.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So you know, Ngachiki, like outside, you keep wood like crisscross, baby. You let it dry out, no? And you let it like brave the elements in a way. So we filmed it in that. And the funny story was, when we were filming that, Solly needed smoke. So we didn't have smoke machines. So Solly gets us this, you know when you burn some, you get that metal plate. And then we start, like, my friend Ujal, he starts throwing grass, all the dry stuff on it. But Solly forgot to tell Ujal that the dog shit in that area. So Ujal basically grabbed a handful of dog shit. And
dry
dog shit. And then he put it, and he didn't realize he had touched the dog shit. And then we lighted, and as we're like trying to think, suddenly it's like, it's just like the smell of dried dog shit burning. And then we're like, Ujal, I think you put dry dog shit.
But I think it'll burn better, man.
It burns better, but then, you can't bear that stench in there now, can you?
You could just use a thing, man, dry ice. Dry ice. Fog machine.
So, how was the food at the wedding?
Barely ate, I was late.
What do you mean you were late?
I went to another FIFA tournament.
Oh yeah, you had another FIFA tournament. I've to almost every wedding that I have been, I have never had the food.
Why? What's your knack for that?
I have no clue. Something always happens that I don't get to eat I usually get to eat it only at the end, and by then all the good stuff's gone. And everything that people don't want to eat gets left behind. And I'll be usually.
Oh, they go there early? You go to the weddings early?
The last wedding that I was at, it was my friend's wedding, and I was singing. So while they were eating, I was singing. I was doing a few songs for the bride and the groom. And then after that, I was like, I've got time. I'll sing them a few songs. And then they were like, why? I think you should go eat. I was like, no. Let me sing y'all a few songs. And I sang this, and then I went, there's nothing left. The vultures had
Can you do a
finished
demonstration of one of the songs that you sang?
No, thank you.
I am singing.
I am a singing at the party.
It's a hit, man. Jigs to matam. I'm singing at the party by Kid Punsu.
Yeah, you didn't have a song called Singing at the Party.
On his YouTube.
Yeah, it's I am a singing at the party.
Copyright with women,
His name was Nacho back then. Stage name.
Encarnacion!
I look a little bit like Jack Black in that, but that's all I'm making.
I am singing
At the party.
At the party. Why are you in like a Russian accent?
I am a singing at the party.
I don't know.
First 10 seconds play this. Copyright measurement.
I think first 10 seconds.
Let's not risk it.
Yeah, that's true though. It's Jack Black.
Naturally, but speaking of which, let's talk about movies. It's up at number 10. So,
The most recent film I watched was that Kingdom, Ashen of the North.
I thought that was the Korean zombie thing.
I've actually watched the series on Netflix.
Oh, is it related?
It's
Related?
It's related. It's basically a prequel to the series.
Okay.
And it's a good show.
Okay.
I liked it.
Give us the TLDR.
What does that actually mean?
Too long, didn't read it.
Oh shit, okay. So, okay, Prince is there. Prince is going to be the next king. However, Prince's mother is no longer alive. The prince's dad, who is the king, has already remarried. That remarried woman
That's
has
already
a
too
child.
long.
Okay, so basically it's Game of Thrones, but done way better.
Okay.
Like-
how do the zombies come in this series?
Yeah, you'll find that out in the prequel.
Okay, spoiler alert.
So I'm not going to say it.
Why is it so say?
I'm not saying it.
Huh?
Yeah, there is.
You can skip to this time, something.
No, but it's good. You should really check it out. I think I really enjoyed the movie, but I love the series more. And what's great about the movie is that, thankfully, there's not many dialogues. I like that most of the film is done visually. Like you're supposed to make sense without too many people talking at the time. So there's just dialogue enough to convey that this has happened. Otherwise, everything else is done through visuals. Yeah.
Can you watch this movie without any context of the series?
Not really, because it's a prequel. So you can actually watch it, and then if you watch the series, it sort of makes sense.
But you can watch the series.
But you can watch the series, and then after you watch the 2 seasons that are out, then you can watch this movie.
Can you watch? But if you just watch the prequel, it won't make much sense.
If you just watch the prequel, you don't make much sense, because then you'd have to watch the series to continue from where the prequel left off. It's a good movie. I don't think it's even a movie. They call it a special episode.
Ooh, that's like Black Mirror.
Yeah. Koreans, man, they're doing amazing stuff.
They're saying all the music is cute and shit, but all their movies are dark.
Yeah, another movie that did you guys watch The Call?
I watched. It's not good. I didn't like it.
You didn't like The Call?
The ending was underwhelming for me.
What's it
You're talking about the one with the time traveling phone
Yeah,
call,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I enjoyed that.
What's it about?
I mean, I didn't watch it. I was listening to it.
You listen to it.
So, have you watched the movie Lake House?
Okay, thrillers and
Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves, where they fall in love, although their mailbox is like a portal through time. One's in the past, one in the present.
I haven't watched it, but I've heard about it.
So one's in the past and one's in the present, right? So it's the same thing, but except think more dark. The Koreans have gone way darker.
She moves into a house, okay? She has a phone call and she can talk to somebody in the past.
And the person in the past
Wants to kill her.
Is a victim of domestic abuse or something like that.
Yes.
And then the person in the past tells the person in the future that you can avoid doing these things because these events will happen which will affect you, which will fuck up your life. So then the person in the it's time travel is always such a nuisance in that
because
regard.
there's so many rules you break now.
Yeah, the continuum stuff.
Have you watched Bus to Bhutan?
Bus to Bhutan?
Oh, there you go, zombie Budniski.
Keramaju.
You can say Bus to Bhutan.
Is your gun.
Oh, Train to Bhutan Sidimuna, and you parody that.
Bus to Bhutan.
Bus to Bhutan. Mumara Yuchimo.
Oh, Jigsaw Bus na zombie.
Bus to Bhutan.
Or
You're just gonna have like vomit stains.
Bus to Tirang.
Sirang.
Bus to Tirang.
Bus to Bumtang. Close enough.
Bus to Bhutan.
And that's a long ass bus ride.
Oh, small. 9 hours later.
It starts off with everyone as humans, but because of how long the journey takes, by the time they reach Bumtang, they're all zombies. They're all
Zombie fight
dead.
duk to shimmen me kira this namo.
Ooh, the visuals.
I think if you want to survive a zombie apocalypse, Bhutan would be one of the best places.
Why?
We've got mountainous terrain, we've got really fast flowing rivers.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's nothing like plain,
Let's go
unless
to-
you're in the south.
Go to a hike. No. These fuckers will lose track there.
Imagine if there was a zombie apocalypse, right?
Uh.
And then let's say because the south is obviously it's plains, right? So it's easier for people to get hunted there because there's hardly much mountains and ravines and all that sort of stuff. we start another quarantine procedure where we again block the south off. It's like, nope, you guys can't come up.
Why? You guys are not seasoned for this terrain.
I'm Legend की premise ani bimna. They live in the colder area because the zombie virus ani lappe.
I Am Legend?
Oh.
Isn't
Will
that the,
Smith gi.
yeah, I don't remember that movie fully.
There's actually 2 endings lamina. The
Okay,
book has a different
I'll
ending.
explain this as I Am Legend for you. I Am Legend is basically Will Smith is in an apocalyptic place like always, but he's like the only human remaining.
Yeah, no, I've watched the movie.
Okay, so-
I don't remember anything about the cold thing.
Yeah, okay.
I know that the zombies or whatever they call them in that movie,
Mm.
they can't stand daylight. So they during the day they run into the buildings, and then at night they come out, right?
Do you know what the twist ending in the movie is?
That there was a cure the whole time.
No. The twist is since in a world full of zombies, if you're the only human, and then he kidnaps the girl to get the human, he's the monster.
He's the boogeyman in the book nadi.
Oh, okay.
He's the monster.
Oh, because he's the one who's technically going around.
And testing on these zombies.
Yeah.
hunting them, what do you call it, taking the girl. Later on he realizes when he's like operating on the girl to heal her, and then the guy comes, he doesn't want to kill her but he just wants to take her back. So they realize they're like
They've been sort of
like
vilifying
become
each other.
Sentient? Is that the word? I don't know.
Zonga dub de wemo. And now Asha.
That's an English word. I don't know.
Zonga dub de wisdom and English movie this more.
Just to let y'all know, in one of the episodes for Get Away, we actually have a zombie-like sketch, but we're not spoiling. We're not spoiling that.
Teasing.
It will piss off a few of you though. You'll find out when the show when we start filming and we do release.
5 years later.
Possibly. No, but so the whole idea with this twist ending, it's kind of interesting because I love movies where characters think that they're doing the right thing always. Like even the villain thinks that I don't like it when a villain is like, "Ha, I am evil" for the sake of being evil.
One-dimensional.
Yeah, like I like it that the villain also thinks like
He's the hero.
he's the hero. Like for example,
Thanos.
there we go. Yeah, like if you go according to Avengers Endgame, Thanos thinks that he is sort of like sparing the universe by wiping out half of them, right? And who's to say he isn't? No, that's it.
Just like comic books and films and wrestling, the hero can only be good if he has a what you call equivalent or what you call a villain to hold
It's that
him.
whole idea of like the immovable object versus the unstoppable force.
Just like Batman with Joker.
Yeah.
Watchmen
Thanos.
Tiger.
Watchmen is really good.
You know, I watched Watchmen when I was really young, so I didn't enjoy it as much. But now I think I have to give it another go because when I watched it, I was
You should watch the Snyder cut of it. No, there is actually.
There is actually a
Snyder
Snyder
directed it.
Zack Snyder emo.
The Snyder cut is much better.
Dr. Manhattan is in that
Yeah,
one,
Dr.
right? The
Manhattan.
blue dude.
Yeah, it's good. The ending is quite thought provoking.
Yalnız ya into Thanos some Rayman. Ozymandias.
What did Ozymandias?
Ozymandias. You just spoiled it now. Okay, if anyone is watching Watchmen or thought of
But
watching.
isn't there a TV series called Watchmen?
Yeah,
as well
but
that's come out?
it's a sequel, but I didn't like it. It's like very convoluted. Is that the word? Not so many. A lot of things you need to know in order to make sense of the plot. Not so maga, but it's pretty good. Reviews are good. Movie is good. I like the movie a lot.
One show that everyone's been telling me to watch is Peaky Blinders, and I just have not been able to give it the time of day. Have you watched it?
But I see any small clips on Facebook.
And people quote it in town.
Yeah, I think everyone does like it, and I think it is a good show. It's just that
It
the
doesn't resonate.
first episode was so slow for me when I watched it. I was just like,
Me also.
oh god.
But that's what people say. The fans of the show, they say.
Yeah, I think the first
it's
episode
quite
is really slow.
but once it gets good, more it's good. But I hate shows like that. Why you want to commit so much of boring time in order to get good? Why can't you just focus in? No.
I think it's that whole thing, like, you know, the Zack Snyder cut for Justice League, right? Which is like 4 hours long.
So slow.
But then what was annoying was I was saying we could have done away with certain shots and made this a little shorter. Like there's literally like 1 minute, 2 minutes devoted to the characters just walking. And I was like, why was that there? Like, get rid of that.
But you know about the Snyderverse, what he was planning was so good. It's research big. I did some research, okay?
It looks like it's going into the Injustice.
No, it's okay.
Injustice
Something similar
storyline.
to the Injustice comics. So, if you
I'm so sorry to those people
it doesn't matter because
who don't follow the DC Injustice.
These movies are never going to come out because of obvious reasons. So basically, at the end of Justice League, they all come together. The Snyder Cut. Basically, Justice League, they all come together and Superman comes back. Man, I'm dead. So in the next movie, no, because the enemy is Darkseid. What will happen is Darkseid will come and try to do shenanigans or whatever, no, and then he'll win. Okay, he'll win.
No, that's obvious.
He'll win just like Thanos, whatever. He'll win. But how he wins is he takes Lois Lane and he kills her. Okay, and that makes
Superman
turn heel.
Yeah.
Superman turns heel. Okay, he was evil, and then that's why he has Superman in control. So then they like blew up everything. That's where you get the dark. You know that Batman's vision when it's all dark and shit.
The dark side.
The dark side of the dark, whatever. But there's an equation he finds called the anti-life equation.
Yeah, the anti-life, the ability to take away free will from people.
Yeah, so basically, last plus minus the one of the equation, the key is Superman. So if you turn Superman evil, then you get
because Superman is so powerful that no one would dare revolt against him.
Basically,
anyone who has
OP there.
Yeah, no, he's such an OP.
But
OP
how come
superhero.
they didn't find this anti-life equation for millions or thousands of years?
Because
that's the only planet he lost
for plot, to serve the plot.
According to the comic books, he still is like a lot of comic books have him still looking for the anti-life equation. That's like one of his biggest dreams. Much like I think in the way that Thanos wants to wipe out half the universe so that people can, so that the universe can stay in peace. I think Darkseid also wants the anti-life equation so that he can remove free will, so that people that he can control them and sort of create this tyrannical peace, which is again villains are.
That's villainous.
It's fun.
But I think in the comics, Darkseid's history, his origins is much more like interesting than Thanos. But Marvel did a great job making Thanos, presenting him as such a great supervillain.
Yeah, I mean having what's his name? Shit.
Josh
Brolin's as.
Josh Brolin? Oh yeah.
Josh Brolin, right? Having him as Thanos is a good. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's good.
Although now what's going to happen is, since he also played Gable for Deadpool, and now Deadpool is also technically under the Disney.
Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Which MCU?
Yeah, Fox. They bought
Disney bought Fox.
They're going to put X-Men movies on them.
Don't worry, in the next 10 years, Disney is going to own like everything, and we're just all going to be like, God bless our mouse overlords.
You better suck this dick. So now then Superman, now becomes evil, and now in part 3, guess what they do?
They kill Superman.
No, guess what they do?
They hire the Joker.
No. Yes, they do hire the Joker.
I had because at the end of the Snyder Cut, spoiler alert.
Do you know what they do? Yeah. Do you know what they do? Come on, it's so obvious what they do.
Fear toxin.
No. They go back in time. They go back in time. They go back in time.
The Flash time paradox.
So they go back in time, okay? So they go back in time to stop Superman from going evil, okay? So in order to do that, they need to save Lois. Because remember, Flash says, Lois, she's the key. Yes. Oh shit, I went back too far. Okay. So they have to save Lois. So basically, at the end, they save everybody, but Darkseid has one life, Omega Beam, which cannot be missed. It goes like...
Yeah, his Omega beams are like...
Okay, so he goes, and last night, about to kill Lois again.
Superman gets in. Batman comes in.
Takes the bullet, and Batman dies. Ha! Batman dies. But then guess what? Another interesting little teaser or cliffhanger.
They turn back time and bring him again?
Another timeline?
Another 15 years later, they go to Batman's grave, okay? And they drop flowers. And Lois Lane is pregnant. So now the child is grown up to be a big, healthy man.
Batman.
But guess what his name is?
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Kent.
I'm sorry, the name.
But the new Flash can you? Because in the poster now there's...
We just lost a good chunk of our listeners. They're just rambling about comic book stuff.
We still have a considerable amount of people
but then
like geeky shit.
The thing is, when I was growing up, we never used to get issue to issue comics, right? Like we used to get comics, but we never got
on time,
like the continuation of certain comics. Like sometimes you'd read Superman and then he'd be doing one thing, and then suddenly the next issue that you used to get, and then it would be like he's completely doing a different thing, and you're like, what the fuck happened?
But with the power of the internet now, I have a lot of my comic book kind of knowledge comes from like researching. Like people going to research everything. They explain it to you, in condensed form.
I use YouTube. There's this channel called Comic Historian where they read entire comic. So it's like an audio book for comics for me.
I like what they call like the history of Darkseid, and then they break down all the greatest.
Oh no, I watched those as well. Like 10 facts you didn't know about the DC universe. Yeah, some stuff like that.
But then I also like if they give me like one saga, no, then I see research like there's one about which one is it? Batman, The Long Halloween. Have you heard about that? Or The Dark Knight Rises?
The Dark Knight.
No, not Rises. The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh yeah, The Dark Knight
Superman, yeah.
Batman vs Superman.
Yeah, they've got an animated film for that. Like 2 of those.
And also even the Batman, The Long Halloween, and the Killing Joke.
The Killing Joke was a good comic. It's a good comic. It's a okay movie because they had to pad out the runtime, and they created that entire annoying Barbara Gordon and Batgirl.
There's a movie I Killing Joke.
Yeah.
Yes. Animated. And then also
it's got my favorite Joker's voice. So
Mark Hamill.
Hello there, Betsy.
Hey there, Betsy.
And then this is good also. Batman, the Mask of the Phantasm. Have you watched that one?
Yes, that's like that came out like in 1993 or 94.
But Cartoon Network the thing about it.
Yes, I had the cassette for it. I had the VHS tape.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's one of the best.
They say it's the best animated.
It actually gives you like this
Cinematic,
moment.
you know.
It's not just cinematic, but there are moments where Batman's like he goes. There's this one powerful scene in that movie where he goes to the graveyard of his mom and dad, because he promises that he will always be Batman to avenge them, right? Like make sure that no one has to fall like the way they fell. So he goes and he like breaks down in front of their grave, and he's just like, I'm finally happy. Now can I be happy?
Oh.
Like could I, leave the life of Batman and just be an average? Okay, technically not average because a billionaire. But like, can I be happy? Like, can I not have to do this? Like, there's this moment which is really powerful.
Yeah, I remember that.
Have you watched Flashpoint Paradox?
Yes.
Letter June.
Oh.
Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. Just the new Flash movie, the winner is coming out. They're going to be implementing the Flashpoint Paradox now.
The Flash movie? There's a Flash movie?
It's a Flash movie. And guess who's coming as Batman?
What's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael
Keaton's coming back as Batman, baby.
In the poster, could you bet symbol then do what him or you Batman?
The yellow one, with the yellow around the back.
Hopefully it's not one with the nipples. George Clooney.
Since it's Flashpoint Paradox, do you know what happens?
Yeah, I mean, he goes back in time to save his mom.
Yeah, but do you know what kind of butterfly effects happen?
But then, in the process, it ends up Thomas Wayne turns into
Batman, and Bruce dies, and the Joker becomes the Joker. Yeah. That's so cool. And then,
Atlantis and Themyscira go to war
because of a lovers.
Yeah, and then it turns out that Shazam is 7 kids instead of 1 kid. Usually it's
Shazam.
Like Billy Batson just has to shout Shazam, but then in this case it's like 7 of them, and they all have to shout Shazam to become 1.
And then what happens?
Was it 7 or 5? I forgot.
And the Flash goes back to save his mom, but then
really geeking out about comics.
That's good now. I really learned somebody.
One trailer I liked about the Batman Arkham Knight series. No, his father leaves behind a message, a letter to Bruce Wayne, and says like all the stuff that don't invest in fancy cars or gasnachi, but he's driving a Batmobile, but he's actually doing what his dad intended to do in a similar way.
One of the best Batman comics.
Flashpoint, do you know Arkham series now?
Me? Arkham Knight, Larry.
Arkham Knight, the game.
Arkham Knight kitchen and the trailer.
One of the best Batman comics, which I hope they do turn into an animated series, it's a graphic novel. It's Batman, a serious house on a serious hill.
Oh, I never heard about that.
So what ends up happening is the prisoners of Arkham, all the mad people, they take Arkham hostage, and then they call Batman over. Because they believe that Batman is just as mad as they are, so he should also be in prison.
That's basically the synopsis of Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, but then, that game is based on that. But that comic is like, I've read it as in like, done comic historian through it. It's one of my, it's a really good.
Who's the big bad?
Who do you think?
Oh god, that's the problem with Batman comics. The only thing I don't like is the over-reliance on Joker.
Well, he is his arch enemy.
But then they have
it's like how a lot of the time when it comes to Superman, you can either predict that the villain is either going to be Lex Luthor or Darkseid.
No, now there's Brainiac.
Brainiac is there as well.
Brainiac is very good. Then there's
Doomsday.
Doomsday, but Doomsday is OP as fuck. Do you know they created Doomsday because the Superman comics was too OP, so they needed to make
they needed a balance, a power balance.
And then that issue where Superman dies, spoiler alert, he dies.
They've already watched Batman vs Superman.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so when Batman dies, it became the most highest selling comic book, the death of Superman. But then as soon as they brought him back up like 3 issues, and they're like, fuck you, with a beard and long hair and everything. Yeah.
Reminds me of Metro Man, Megamind.
Metrocity.
Yes. Megamind.
It's Metro City and gives us no man.
Metrocity long with the cream.
I will give you revenge. It's revenge, and it's a dish best served cold, but it can be easily reheated in the microwave of evil.
The microwave of evil. The warranty has expired or something.
Best and back and
like
forth.
Banter. No? I want to write banter like that. I would love to write banter like that.
You just. I think
one thing that
improv.
One of the things that I was struggling with while I was writing the script was always looking at the dialogue and like hoping that it would be funny.
You don't hope to, you just write it.
No, like you write it, but then you because a good chunk of Bhutanese people aren't familiar with
what absurd humor,
I suppose. So I think that was sort of like this block that I was having while I was writing, where I was like, should I use this? Should I say this? And then half the time it was a matter of self-censorship as well. It's like, haha, this would be funny. Oh no, I'll get in trouble.
That's the limitations you work with. If everyone gives you like, here's a piece of paper, write anything you want, then you're kind of like a writer's block. No? But once you say you can only write this, if this is this and that, then you cannot get kind of idea.
Yeah, like it's you're given a wall. I think the way my uncle had put it was the best. He said, creative freedom in Bhutan is a box. The box can be as big as you want it to be, but at the end of the day, it's a box. It's still a box. He said, no matter how much freedom you have, like creative freedom you
within
have,
this box.
You have it within this box. And yeah, I think, of course, I think that's something that we all have to deal with. But I think there's always this fine line of finding where you can just cross the line with your toe, but make sure not to venture fully into it. And I think that's like playing with the lines is more fun.
Flirting with
the lines. There we go.
So how did you manage to write much this 6?
I had Noko's help. Thank God for Jimmy Noko, because Jimmy Noko, like, I had a lot of sketch ideas that I wanted to do. I knew the punchlines, right? But I didn't know what I wanted in the middle. And then Noko was there. Then Noko had some of his own. Some of the ones that he had were really like funny. Like I was laughing as we were laughing throughout the whole writing process. And hopefully people find it as funny as we did, because the two of us were sitting in my living room just guffawing.
What word? I'd never heard that before. Guffawing.
In absolute joy.
Ooh, bringing a lot of vocabulary today.
Guffaw.
What was the word you said that time? Lecturing?
Lecherous.
Lecherous. You know that word?
It's what you feel when you look at a girl's picture and go,
Ooh.
There we go.
Thirsty.
That doesn't even have to be a girl. Like, if you see an attractive boy and you have sexual feelings, and you probably make some sexual advancements, then you probably are a lecherous piece of
Lecherous, the word of the day. Schling. Let's hover.
Lecherous. Hopefully he gets the correct spelling.
Lecherous. Lecherous.
This should be the episode name? No.
Lecherous.
Let's answer some questions which we have been pending for a couple of episodes.
Oh, okay. So, one question that we got was from Sange Chofel.
Okay.
And he said, why do people hate pineapples on pizza? And I'm assuming Sange Chofel is saying this as somebody who likes pineapples on pizza.
What about you, Norla? What is your take on pineapples on pizza?
Yeah, I thought it was weird at first, but Bangkok na I got used to the taste, so I don't have anything against it.
It's called Hawaiian pizza, no?
I like it.
I like it as well.
I like pineapples on pizza. I don't mind pineapples in my burger as well. I think at the end of the day...
Pineapples in your burger?
Yeah.
Well, that's something new.
You've never... you go to Mama's restaurant. He gives you pineapple. Like, he gives you burgers and he puts pineapple in them. I like it. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that sweetish, sour burst of flavor that hits you.
And it has a little bit of harder texture, no, pineapple, so it kind of works with it. So I like pineapples on pizza. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Comment below.
I think you really can't really judge people on food anymore. I mean, like we said during the last episode, remember? There are some people who probably freak out on the fact that we eat stuff that they like. I know for a fact a lot of people probably freak out about the fact that we eat zete. Like anywhere else in the West, like zete, maybe except the place where they eat kasu marzu, they'd be like,
what the hell's kasu marzu?
So kasu marzu is a dish that I really want to try because I love weird food. So what they do is they take cheese, they let flies lay eggs in the cheese, and then the cheese rots, and then the maggot feeds on the cheese, poops out the cheese, and then it becomes this weird, like runny or stinky mess, and people eat that. And I don't know if I like it, but I want to try it.
Delicious. Have you heard about raccoon poop coffee? They do the same thing.
I've heard of the other one. I've heard of the something cat. There is a cat that they make the cat eat the coffee beans, and then it poops out the coffee, and then they take that coffee and then they make coffee out of it, and apparently it's quite expensive.
The raccoon one is expensive. I don't know about the cat.
No, the cat one is expensive. Also, the cat one is sort of under controversy because of illegal, so like horrible treatment. Like people actually like catch the cats, put them in cages, force feed them the coffee beans, and then
just like foie gras. You know foie gras?
What the fuck is foie gras?
Foie gras is fatty goose liver.
Oh, I've heard of those.
Yeah, so what you do is you force feed a goose with like a funnel and with a lot of what you call nuts and stuff like that for a couple of months. It gets really fat because goose can retain a lot of fat. And if you do this in France, it's a breeding process. So the goose is really overwhelmingly fat, and then people, when they slaughter it, they use the fat, take it out, and it becomes like this big, sip, fatty, and then they cut it. It can be used like a butter.
I
or
might
like
try that. I wouldn't be opposed to trying.
So that also is like under like a lot of scrutiny because of animal cruelty. But they said like the throat of a goose is not like us, no human. You cannot feel a gag reflex. They say it's cruel, but they cannot feel a gag reflex. So it's like the same.
The duck's like,
why are you doing this? So basically, so just like that, people think it's animal cruelty, But then if you think about that context, people also say like, then you should feel that about pigs or like chickens, because they force feed the shit out of them as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we all eat what we eat, and as long as it's
meat is murder
and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I think we all eat what we eat, and let's just leave it at that.
Okay, next question.
Oh, speaking of eat what we eat, I recently read a book, and it's a book that I actually enjoyed. It's a fucked up book. It's called Tender is the Flesh.
That sounds very like what's the word, Hannibal Lecter-y.
Good, because it's a book that's based in a dystopic future
where people eat people.
Yes, and it's
Soylent Green is people.
Oh no, it's not as bad. It's not like Soylent Green. Okay, so what actually ends up happening is in this book, in this book's world, there is a virus that sort of infects all other animals, and when humans eat those animals, they get infected as well. So every animal has to be killed off: dogs, cats, pigs, any animal.
They're like the infectious.
Yeah, so they kill off all these animals, but then humans still need meat.
Why?
That's the whole point. So there are like so many questions that.
It's about asking the question, but do you need to eat meat? Yeah.
So I don't think it really asks that question because the good thing, the thing that I loved about this book is in this backdrop of this universe where people are being literally raised. Like there are processing plants. I mean, there are birthing plants where people are raised, and then once they are raised, they are sent over to the processing plants. At the processing plants, they are killed off. Their meat is cut off into tiny bits, and it's in vivid description. Like the author puts it in amazing. Like
a baby or they allow them to be grow up.
Anything, like during the book, there's actually a part where somebody's barbecuing a baby, like they're barbecuing a baby. And with this all in the backdrop, at the end, it's kind of funny because
there's no vegetarians in this dystopian.
There are vegetarians, but then majority of people are. And the best part is sort of like the big meat companies. Yeah. They've sort of like started this propaganda against vegetarianism because obviously they're making a lot of money, right? So they're going to do that.
So they make like vegetables are good for you, something like that.
No, they're more like antagonizing it towards it. And then the best part is, the backdrop is this universe where people eat people, right? And then they use language which makes them not feel bad. So they don't say human meat. They say special meat. They don't call them humans. They call them heads, or produce.
Give me head, please.
Yeah, something like that. And then in all of this, you would think that the focus would be on that, right?
Yeah.
But it turns out that the main
Plot.
character, the protagonist, is going through his own fucked up shit. Like his life is literally crumbling before him. He's depressed. His marriage is ruined and all that. So that's the backdrop, and it's kind of amazing because it's sort of like this human problems in a inhumane world. So it's a really interesting book. I actually enjoyed it.
So
quite a bit.
who gets to be picked to be not to be the food there? Who does the
Yeah, it's just like, I guess, the birthing, wherever they're birthed, where the breeders are. And the thing is, once they're born, after a certain age, their vocal cords are removed, so they can't scream when they die.
It's horrifying.
Yes, it's a very disturbing book. Especially, a friend of mine said she saw nightmares after she read it. She literally saw like hands and legs and feet all hanging.
But there's not like you're just imagining.
Oh, but that's what it's so visually described. Like the images are so powerful. Like when you're reading
Details,
it,
yeah. Oh, sounds interesting. Maybe
It's a 6-hour book. It's 200 pages. You can finish it in a day.
Oh yes, really?
Yeah, I read it on my thing. Just like, I mean, I listened to it. It's a 6-hour book. It's
Audio,
really good.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Something food for thought. What's it called again?
Tender is the flesh.
Tender is the flesh.
All right, next question. Chetok asks, do you guys plan your episodes?
Which one? This one or the get
Any episodes, as in like our PSY-POD episodes.
It depends on the guest. If there's a guest, we have a kind of a few questions we want to ask, and we see where it goes from there. And if the guests aren't there, like today, we just ramble on and see where it goes.
Speaking of which, do you have any questions, Dorla?
Why would he have any questions? He's part of the production.
I don't know. People should have questions. Think, people, think.
Why are we still?
Think, Mark, think.
Think, Mark, think. Speaking of which, have you guys watched Invincible? Invincible Tiger.
Come, what's your column?
You want to give them? I'll give it to you.
Like a sports movie.
The Boys Tiger.
Thai.
Just like The Boys, except Invincible is like the son of Superman. He's involved.
He's basically the son of Superman.
He's OP. His father's OP also, but there's a twist.
And we're not going to ruin that twist.
We're not gonna ruin
because
it.
it's a good chunk of the story is going to go.
It's a good twist.
It's a movie or series?
It's a series. I think 8 episodes, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, 8 episodes.
30 minutes per episode. You can watch
I
it.
haven't watched a lot of movies or series these days.
No.
I haven't watched series either. I haven't caught up. I've been reading a bit. I've been reading more.
I haven't watched as well, but I've been watching Loki recently.
Is it good?
Loki's
Is
good.
it Loki good or?
It's high key. Loki is high key good. Loki is good, and I finished Black Widow movie day. Black Widow.
Isn't Scarlett
Scarlett
Johansson
Johansson
like?
suing
Sorry,
them.
Johansson. Isn't she suing?
No, she's American, so it's Johansson.
Yeah, but some people say Johansson.
If she was in
Scarlett whatever.
Scarlett Johansson
is suing Disney for
Yeah.
something.
Because okay, I got this news today, so I'll break it down. So Scarlett Johansson had a exclusive contract to say that the Black Widow movie has to come out in theaters exclusively because her paycheck would come out of the box office, a percentage, and she was set to earn a projection of 50 million, but up to, because Marvel, they make a lot of money, man. But since that movie was released simultaneously digitally
On streaming as
and
well.
on film on box
Theatres.
office more. She's now suing because she's saying that I'm entitled
Because
to
she
that
lost
money.
money.
Yeah, I'm entitled to that money. That's it.
Yeah, she better have a powerful lawyer because Disney.
That's okay. They already killed her off in the oh shit, just kidding. Infinity War people,
No, in
come
the
on.
Infinity War, yeah, she does.
Yeah, so basically, yeah. So I think Black Widow is pretty good. It's very espionage.
Wasn't
movie.
it in Endgame?
Endgame?
Yeah, she dies in Endgame.
Yeah, Endgame she dies. And okay.
I'm kind of like over Marvel movies at this point. I think
Why?
I'm like, I'm
I
good.
love it, I love it.
I'm good with superhero because I think
I
for
can't
the
get enough of
past
it.
year I've just been consuming superhero stuff.
No.
I mean, I was watching all the Marvel movies,
Uh-huh.
and then right after that, I watched The Boys, which is another
It's so
superhero
good.
thing. Then I watched Invincible.
It's all good.
Yeah, everything's just been superhero based, and then DC sort of like released their animated the Apocalypse, Justice League Dark Apocalypse, which is an amazing animated movie. I think you should watch that.
Justice League Dark, yeah.
Justice League Dark
Apocalypse comes out.
Apocalypse. So
Apocalypse.
Darkseid's
Darkseid.
planet is called Apocalypse, right?
So it's about Darkseid coming on.
Yeah, but it's done so well. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Did you
and
watch the thing then? Batman Long Halloween as well. It came out.
I haven't watched that.
Check that out. But I'll check out thing also what they call Apocalypse. DC. Okay.
Nola's being awfully quiet.
Let's ask Nola some questions. Nola.
Ask away.
So, why no girlfriend?
Yes.
He actually had to inhale for that, the dramatic inhale. Yes.
Okay, next question. What was it?
I think it's yours.
9? No, I don't have a question. I answered last week and I think the week previous.
Dawa, who we had here for episode 7.
Yeah.
He asks, who is the first guest to reappear here? We haven't decided.
Fan vote! Podhead vote. Let's do a podhead vote.
Yeah, to all our
Podheads.
audience who's listening,
Comment.
comment in the comment. Let us know who would you like for us to have a guest. Like, which guest would you like us to have back on the show?
Okay.
And
also,
we'll probably...
Also not just next guest, like to bring it back again.
Yeah.
A new guest.
You can even ask us who you would like
Someone
first.
wanted
Yeah.
Tanin Sonam.
Petition.
Somebody wanted Tanin Sonam, another one wanted Lama Shenpen.
Yeah.
I would love to have Lama
Lama
Shenpen
Shenpen,
because he's a cool guy.
Yeah, I think we could talk a lot of things about him. And with Tanin Sonam also.
I think if you bring Tanin Sonam, Norla won't do his job. Just be fanboying over there.
That's Shimshur. Okay, but anyways, we'll find out. Maybe next week we might get someone you might like.
Oh, speaking of news, Joey Jordison died, which is a big... I know you guys don't listen to a lot of metal, but like when I started off with like Slipknot and stuff, like Joey Jordison is like the drummer of drummers.
How
like,
did he come to his demise?
he just, according to the news, he just died in his sleep. 46 years old, which is really
That's
young.
what I'm saying. How?
He just died in his sleep. Like, I don't think the family members have released the cause of death yet. But damn, he's an amazing drummer. Like,
Please read him a eulogy. Montage.
I'm good. He never sang. He was the drummer.
Oh, he's the drummer.
He's the drummer. But damn, you should watch. Like if you ever like, if you're not a big Slipknot fan, but you just want to see stuff, like you should check out his drum like, when they perform live. Like he has his drum kit which literally like goes up and then it like turns like this and then it rotates and like he's playing throughout the whole thing.
Theatrical.
Yeah, but it's not like Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. Motley Crue used to play in a spinning drum rig. Like he'd sit inside and play and his whole drum rig would rotate.
Wasn't Tom Lee the lead singer?
No, he's the drummer. Vince Neil was the lead singer.
But why did Tom Lee become the most popular person in Motley Crue?
Because he had a sex tape with Pamela Anderson.
That's it?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Did you? Yeah, Tommy. Yeah, it's Tommy.
I know
Lee.
Tommy.
He had the sex tape with Pamela Anderson. But who didn't?
With Pamela Anderson?
I mean, even Bret Michaels from Poison,
Yeah.
the singer for Poison, had a sex tape with her. Like a very short one.
Really?
Yeah, a very short one. It's not that long. No pun intended.
Every rose has its soul.
So speaking of SpyPod and Turbo.
SpyPod?
SpyPod, I mean, can you check the analytics? Check Spotify now. Are they
Yeah,
Spotify,
how's the
audio now?
analytics?
Oh, yeah.
Spotify, yeah. Spotify there's a couple of 100 views so far, but much too much views are getting on YouTube. YouTube
Meaning that people like to look at something.
it's easier, no people
One
not.
girl told me that she likes to watch you on your phone and everything.
Why?
She enjoys watching. I don't know
You
why.
sadist!
She enjoys
Pay
watching.
me money and I'll record a video of 1 hour of me just doing that.
She likes watching you watch stuff.
OnlyFans. My OnlyFans is just me doing this throughout.
Welcome to Kinley's OnlyFans.
Oh, you
Today,
know,
I'm going to watch an iPad.
So there's this funny story that happened because this
Lights is on, by the way. You know that?
Oh shit! Thank you. So this is there's this. I don't go to internet cafes anymore, and
Like
this
who
is,
does?
This is back when I was in Calcutta, man.
Okay.
I do go right now to print stuff and
Okay.
I was in India and I had to check my mail, and that time I didn't have a smartphone. So I go into the internet cafe and then I'm like this, okay, and I'm like fucking typing, and then I hear these two young brothers, they're looking at me, and one of them goes, "Bhaiya, wo aise kyun dekh raha hai?"
I don't know Hindi, so you
Like,
got
why is he looking like that? And then the elder one, I love his
description?
I
Explanation?
love his explanation. He goes, "If your eyes were that small, wouldn't you also look at the screen like that?" And right there, I was just like, "Yeah, I'm done. Thank you. I'll check my mail somewhere else."
Nice and subtle.
Speaking of on internet cafes, when I was in Thailand, like game hall, so I used to play Dota a lot. Dota Joyce.
Uh-huh.
Then this guy right beside me, the headphones too, but he was watching porn, man. Damn Minduro.
Really?
It was going on, man. 1 hour that shit. Game.
He's not jerking it, what?
Jerking, maybe he's just watching like that headphone too, man. I don't know.
He's a connoisseur. Sorry, a pornosaur.
Wow, I really like the lighting on this one.
I have a feeling he's the kind of guy who watches porn, like, because you're saying he's just sitting like that and watching it. Like, he's probably like going and like.
Maybe he's a director, he's looking for some references.
Chances. And he's probably the guy who's leaving the comments,
Mm.
which to me is really funny because sometimes, I mean, let's be honest, we're all adults here.
Pulp Fiction.
So people like, when people leave comments on porn, it's like the weirdest thing. It's like, wow, you guys are like really dedicated to this.
There's a Reddit post, a subreddit, what they call it, Pornhub comments. It's so good. You should check it out.
Oh, I'll check that out.
It's so funny.
I find it really.
It was like, class act there by that cum shot man. It's like on weird ones, good ones.
I find it really weird when people are leaving comments, and I don't know what's weirder, the person leaving the comments or me who's reading the comments.
No, that's what I'm saying. This subreddit is all for like comments. Okay, so just carry on. I'll just read
Oh crap, we're gonna have to hear some Pornhub comments subreddit.
It's called Pornhub comments only.
Mm-hmm.
Comments.
Be honest, you're the one who started the subreddit.
Yeah, then if I have the subreddit, I'll be famous. There's like 1 million subs.
Really? How do you make money
Can
on
you
Reddit?
earn money?
Yeah, that's why.
Only a subreddit.
Subreddit, yeah. Much shit there. If you have 1 million people more, then you can probably like. But I think Reddit is free now, but then I think what is it? The Discord channels is shit over there, and people might get rewards.
Hey, Reddit coins said
Yeah, it's not that.
Is it like
so
their
maybe
own
they
digital
have
currency
some-
store sort of stuff?
What section do you prefer on Pornhub, Lucy? Lesbian or amateur? The comment section.
Shit.
Anyone else noticed the fly landed next to her pussy at 12:08, Lucy? The motherfucking came out of her pussy.
See, this is what I mean. Like, people are really going into the.
Speaking of digital currency, like, have you guys heard of NFTs?
Yeah, non-fungible tokens.
You wanna sell?
Do I look like I have?
You can sell your songs then.
Yeah, I don't think people are out there who want my songs. I think Yishilendu would make a good chunk of money. Although he doesn't own the copyright to the songs. He owns the copyright to the video.
He even asked for consent. Lucy, what a gentleman.
So for those of you who don't know what a non-fungible token is, Norla, explain.
I don't know. I'm sure.
Neither do I. All I know is that it's sort of like Bitcoin, right?
It's basically like
in the Star Wars porn parody, this is not the way of the Jedi.
Oh shit. Okay, I think we can stop with that. It's kind of thing.
From how I see it, I think it's basically like owning digital stuff, like owning a star.
I think people own memes.
People buy stars.
People, yeah, because I remember reading somewhere that the Grumpy Cat meme was sold. The NFT for that was sold at like some million.
The most expensive NFT was sold for 69 million. Like there's
the glorious number.
There's one digital artist who makes digital art every day, man.
People, I love that dude.
Over the span of more than a decade, he had this collage. Yeah, all his art, and it sold for 69 million.
Y'all should really follow him, because if you are somebody who loves digital art, because for the past 12 years, he has posted one piece of digital art every day. And yeah, he sold that. I think they even did like a charity auction, and that's like one of his pieces sold for like 70 something million.
Speaking of auctions, there was one sculptor, I think he sold an invisible sculpture for $14,000, I think. So yeah.
If the internet has taught me anything, is that people will buy anything, because speaking of literally buying, one guy sold 2 years worth of his recorded farts for $25. Sorry, $200 something, I think.
There's some fart fetish people out there, man.
Yeah, but why do you want to listen to it? I think the whole point of a fart fetish is that you want to smell it.
But also it comes with the sound as well, the ASMR.
So you want like this full on like binaural. You want a binaural like full on like sensory.
Like 3D sound like.
Shit. Oh, one of the sketches I forgot to mention. It's named ASMR.
Oh yeah, you told me that.
Yeah.
You can tell Bandor about that. Basically, it's Bhutanese.
No.
ASMR.
No, that's not the one you're thinking about.
Oh?
It's ASMR, but it stands for something else. And you'll probably I'll give all my Getabi staff members, crew, the challenge to figure out which sketch I'm talking about, if y'all can find it.
Oh, Easter egg?
Yeah.
Easter egg. Let's find it out. Anyways, enough teasing the audience about that. What else are we? We got kind of in
I think
full swing on something.
Oh, we've got
else.
20 more minutes. Don't worry. We've still got 20
Okay,
minutes.
so who's your favorite movie director?
I recently watched The Grand Budapest again.
So Wes
Is it?
Anderson.
Oh, it is the
I-
Budapest.
Budapest.
It's called Budapest, not Budapest. In
The
thing.
Grand Budapest.
Black Budapest is Budapest, not
Ooh.
Budapest.
Yeah, I watched the movie again recently, and
Yeah, it's
not that he's my favorite director, but
Wes
damn, I like symmetry in his.
Wes Anderson. For a blind man, you like
Dude, when you're watching your TV like this, you're gonna
Yeah.
notice anything.
I thought you like listening to movies.
Sometimes I like listening. I like listening to movies that I've already watched. So it's like sometimes I leave movies playing in the background while I'm doing other stuff.
Dialogue, for the ambiance.
Hey, have you watched Sound of Metal?
Tani DC.
Yeah. It's about
The
a
drummer who loses his hearing.
yeah.
Yes,
It
I've
might,
heard.
it might resonate with you. a
It
bit.
will. I haven't watched it. I've heard it's really good, and I want to watch that because there are a few musicians who I know who actually have not gone deaf, but like lost something that stopped them from playing.
Like yourself.
Not really. How the fuck does me not being able to see stop me from playing? I use vocals. I sing.
Oh, yeah, it doesn't hamper much of your performance.
And if I fucking lost my voice, then maybe.
Yeah, okay. But then, yeah. Tani DC.
Yeah, I believe it's a good movie.
Is the actor is Riz Ahmed, I think. I'm not.
It's an independent film, right?
Yeah, the guy is. Think he's a very talented actor. He's Middle Eastern, but he's raised in England.
Yeah.
He can perform any accent like on the fly. So good. I think the movie is American, but
You know, in the movie, which one was it? Big Short.
The Big
Ooh.
Short, yeah.
The Big Short. Christian Bale's in that movie, right?
Yeah.
Christian Bale.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
he actually did learn the drums for that scene where he's playing Pantera's "Demons by Demons Be Driven."
But that's the movie about like finance. How
Yeah,
does he
but
play
then
drums?
they're like the character that Christian Bale plays, he apparently de-stresses by playing drums. So there's a scene
Where he plays
where
the
Christian Bale is playing drums and he's actually playing double pedal, which is firstly playing one foot and coordinating your whole body is such a pain in the ass
Oh.
sometimes, and then to do it with like both your legs going tick, 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 tack, no, and I was just like, oh, no. Damn, talk about like taking your role seriously.
He's also a method actor. Wasn't
Yeah, and then you're playing a Pantera song on top of that, and not that Pantera is such a technical band, but Vinnie Paul is like just an amazing drummer again, like such a powerful drummer.
he takes shit seriously, you know.
Yeah.
Christian Bale. There was the infamous thing, no, voice recording where he he
Yeah.
snaps.
Yeah, where he
and
played that
snaps.
horrible John Connor for the Terminator.
Terminator.
Which one was that? Genesis?
Andy.
It's for Genesis. No, sorry,
man.
not Genesis.
Terminator.
Salvation.
Salvation.
Yeah, Salvation. Where he plays the bald John Connor.
Terminator.
Speaking of Terminator, I wish they would stop.
I think they're not making anymore.
I hope so. No, I think they still are. I think.
Yeah.
I'll
didn't
be
watch it
back.
after
You're
Judgment
always
Day.
coming back. Just stop coming back.
I think like up till Judgment Day, it was good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like you could have ended it at Judgment Day, like. That.
But you wouldn't because it was such a hit.
Yeah, but then after that, you sort of ruined every. It's sort of like the subsequent films sort of ruined everything.
What's the name of the bad guy called?
Skynet.
That
T-
liquid.
T1000.
T1000, yeah.
Like when they were shooting on the film, like because robots aren't supposed to blink. Like when he's shooting, he's
He flinches.
flinching. So I'm gonna shoot those. He's trying his best.
I think one of the best special effects for that time
Was it?
no, not
Going
that.
through the bars?
Going through the
The
bars,
bars,
where
yeah.
he
Liquid.
like just like melts through the bars.
And back then, what kind of computers they were dealing with?
Yeah.
Come to good most VFX.
Yeah.
No,
Even the robotic arm, no, that Arnold gives one, like when he rips the
Oh,
hand off and then the way it moves and all that. I was like,
that was in the 90s.
Even the mirror shot. Did you see the mirror shot?
which one?
Like they shot it from the back. Arnold, they're removing some pieces of metal.
There's
There's a
emo,
mirror.
so it's like, oh.
It's not a mirror. Arnold is actually sitting there. There are 3 different actors who are mimicking the moves of these.
Oh,
actors.
shit. So it looks like a mirror.
So they're on the like he blood. They're
Oh.
trying to remove some bullets. or
Remember,
something,
they're
shrapnel.
they're in the warehouse after they rescue the mother, and then she's like digging into his
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
pulling out the.
But why did
the slugs.
you need like 3 actors to shoot that? Louis? I'm saying.
So on the mirror shot, remember they're going for a
Ah.
mirror shot.
Okay. Yeah, that was a really good movie, but it's James Cameron there.
Speaking of
James
Annie,
Cameron.
Dr. Dyson, he's breathing.
Yeah,
Iconic breathing.
and then he just and then he just stops, and then it's like,
You didn't see Annie.
Hey,
Oh.
black guy.
And the
Yeah,
Hank
Dyson.
Schrader is in that, the actor, Breaking Bad again. You did.
oh, he's the cop.
Yeah,
Oh.
he's the cop. He's in there.
He's just like a cameo role,
Yeah.
sort of. Actually, that must have been the start of his. Like, those are like probably some of the smaller roles you could get.
Like Jackie Chan in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, Jackie Chan. Speaking of which, I haven't watched any good Jackie Chan movies lately.
There haven't been any.
Have you all watched The Foreigner though? The one where I believe that's one of his more serious roles. There's not much comedy in it. He's a retired super spy, something like that, like a retired CIA agent or something. And then his daughter dies in a bomb blast, and then he goes on this revenge.
Like Taken or
Technically, yeah, but then the daughter's dead.
the brooding old man who can kick ass. That's a good genre. Like Nobody, Mr.
I don't know who you are.
Mr. Nobody.
I don't know who you are. I don't know. What does he say? I have a very special set of skills.
Skills that make a nightmare for a man like you. If you let her go now, that'll be the end of it. But if you continue, I will hunt you down.
I will find you.
And I will kill you.
Good luck.
Motherfucker!
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Nobody is that Better Call Saul, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one movie I watched.
Same
recently.
director by John Wick. John Wick director.
Sort of the action scenes seem.
Very action thing. But I didn't really particularly like John Wick.
I-
The plot is damn stupid.
I-
You killed my dog, so I fuck everything up.
I think it's like, again, these are movies that are
Action heavy.
action heavy, and you're just watching them for the action. Although I think it would resonate with some people. I mean, come on, man! Like, your wife died, and then the last thing that gave you solace was your dog, and then some fucking prick goes and kills your dog. Obviously, I think we might think that it's not great, but to some people it could like snap.
He kills the whole thing. But what do you call him? Babushka?
Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
I didn't watch John Wick at all.
It's not as I think it's like it's another movie that's really hyped up. Like, a lot of people are like, that's just my personal opinion.
But
again.
I think if that's the case, you like action like movie like John Wick is very Hong Kong theme. No, Hong Kong action is apparently like the inspiration. No,
Yeah.
Hong Kong action movies is gonna be like Jackie Chan, the police stories and stuff. Like
Oh,
that.
Police
Police
Stories
Stories,
is
yeah.
good. Okay, maybe not the recent ones, but the older ones were like
All
so
Jackie Chan movies are the
good.
best.
Did you guys watch?
What's your first
In Front
Jackie
of the
Chan
Crest,
movie?
Huh?
What's your first Jackie Chan movie?
Rush Hour.
Rush Hour, no, but
Rush Hour Renegade.
Rumble in the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
The one where he-
American role in it.
Yeah, where he
Role, I mean.
jumped from like one building to the other
Apparently he
one.
fucked up for the first try. He broke something. Man.
No, that was in the movie. Like, there's a scene where he jumps from this high elevation onto the hovercraft, and then he lands wrong and he fucks his foot up. And then he gets a cast, like he gets his foot wrapped up. And then once his foot starts to heal, he's still in a cast. He gets this special sock, which looks like shoes. So he wears that and he's running with the cast on, and he still does his stunts. And Jackie Chan is a guy who's broken every bone in his body and is still somehow alive.
Yeah, man. He's the biggest. I think he's bigger than Bruce Lee. I think just Bruce Lee died. At early age became iconic.
Yeah.
But
Did
I
you know
think-
Bruce Lee hated flying kicks?
Why?
He did not like. This is something that I read somewhere, and he apparently hated doing flying kicks. But a lot of his directors at that time were like, because it's a fancy move, you know, you're running and then you're like,
Liu
fucking-
Kang.
yeah. I mean, Liu Kang is based on Bruce Lee. So like, but then he actually, because I think to him, he believed that in actual fighting, a flying kick makes no sense.
Because you use a hit and
Because
miss.
if you miss, you're in a vulnerable position. No, you can easily get struck.
But it looks hella cool now in the movie.
Yeah, it looks hella cool.
You know that scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, he flying kick lumina.
Flying kick lung.
Garigo jomba.
Yeah, but that's again based
No,
on
he
a
hits
movie.
him, then he goes
But he
back.
gets caught and then
Then the second time he gets caught.
and he gets hurled into a car.
But then think about it, Quentin Tarantino, he did heavy research. He found out that
Bruce Lee was
Bruce
not
Lee was
a
a
big fan of
stuntman.
stuntmen.
He was a dick to stuntmen. And then that guy, the stuntman who's he based on, is a war veteran. So he just imagined more if these two fought, how it would have turned out. And then apparently there was a story where Bruce Lee actually fought with somebody who he took easily. He took easy to. And then the guy actually grappled him and tossed him lower. So maybe he made it more masala, no. But then it was based on some events and then his personality, what.
Isn't there a famous fight scene between Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris?
In the movie.
Stadium.
I don't know what the movie was.
They fight in
Enter
the
the Dragon?
stadium.
No, they fight inside like this
In the
weird hallways.
Colosseums.
Oh, something like that.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee rips like
Yeah.
a good chunk of Chuck Norris's chest hair. Like,
It's gonna be sick, man.
no, it's just like a serious fight. But then he like grabs hold of like Chuck Norris's chest hair and just like rips out a good chunk.
Bruce Lee, then he gets another movie interesting bit.
You know, many people like, I was watching some documentaries of Bruce Lee,
Mm-hmm.
and then everyone's like, he was such a diverse actor. He was so good at that. I was just watching all his old movies, and I was like, he plays the same
dude.
fucking dude. Not the dude. It's like all his emotions are the same. He's always just doing this. He hardly talks, huh? Just walks around. And then somebody hits him.
Balls, don't hit back. No.
And then he just, like, the whole movie, I'm like, how is he a diverse actor? Like,
That's how he's icon, no?
yeah, he was iconic, but I
He
don't.
was an
I don't.
icon for
yeah.
like
Being the
Asian
first
kids growing up in the United States.
Yeah.
Being the first in Asian,
Exactly.
you know, like lead them more. And second of all, he's in mixed martial arts. He's a pioneer.
Yeah.
And then they just look like you never saw that kind of person back then. No? And when he first of his, what's the word? Trailblazer, maybe.
Yeah. Be like water.
Be like water, my friend. You put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put the water into the vase, it becomes the vase.
I think that's
Be
Uncle.
like
What's
water.
his name?
Vietnamese
Uncle.
is
What's his name? Uncle.
I think
Uncle Roger. Your Uncle Roger.
I don't think Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh fuck, that was such an amazing cartoon. One walking.
The
No
talisman,
more going
right?
by fighting's out.
Oh,
No
no,
more going by
no,
fighting's out. Chucky! I love that cartoon. Like they don't make cartoons like that.
Game, oh, nice.
You can use the talisman.
Talisman,
Yeah, the first season was on talismans. The second season was on the demons, like the
Maskimo.
weird box, which somehow like releases the 7 demons. Like one is like the mountain demon, the sky demon, thunder demon, moon demon. Then after that, it was because in an effort to fight off Shendu in the second season, the talismans get destroyed, and then the talismans go and embody the actual animals. So then they have to go and find the actual animals who have the power of the talismans. And then after that it goes, because till that point it was all Chinese mythology. Then it went to Japanese with the whole Oni and the masks. I think the fourth season was the
Shendu
weakest.
actually becomes a person, man.
Yeah, he becomes Valmont.
Valmont.
The dude with the
blonde dude.
The blonde dude who's got like a green suit.
And then he becomes like a not a really serious character. He becomes like a
Yeah, he's in the first season. He's like a really serious character. Second season onwards, he becomes more or less a comic relief.
It was a good show, no? My
It reminds me of Shaolin Showdown.
Another.
Shaolin Showdown.
Oh my God, Clay's got me tripping on cold stones. No, he's got you stone cold trip. Never mind.
What's the name of the kid?
Omi.
Omi.
Kimiko, Raimundo, and Clay.
Jack Spicer.
Jack Spicer was the villain. What's the witch's name? Shit. Wuya. Cartoons back then. Not that cartoons these days are bad too, because I think have you all watched Steven Universe?
No.
It's quite a
There's
good cartoon.
another good cartoon which is
Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls is
is good.
I haven't really finished watching it still, but I heard it's really good towards the as the seasons go on. It's like really strong. What else is there? Right now another one that's quite good is Adventure Time as well.
Adventure Time. It's the same thing there. SpongeBob voice cast that guy. He's the wizard.
Oh shit, Tom Kenny. Yeah, Tom Kenny.
He's the wizard.
Yeah. Tom Kenny's an amazing voice actor.
He's also Mayor in Powerpuff Girls.
Oh yeah.
He's also the
Powerpuff Girls.
He's Mayor.
The new Powerpuff Girls are bad.
Bad, of course they're bad.
It's not. They don't have to be bad. There are some shows that are really good once they've been rebooted.
Which one? The live action?
Not Teen Titans.
No, the new Powerpuff Girls isn't that
With
good.
the anime and some look, you know?
Little bit.
Do you know they made a live action Powerpuff Girls series?
What?
They're making a live action Powerpuff Girls series, and it's already so shit.
I remember back when we were in school, like when we were in class 5, everyone was like, I don't watch the Powerpuff Girls. It's such a sissy show. But we all knew that secretly, when we were back home, it's like everyone was like watching it.
Guilty pleasure.
Dun, 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 dun.
Did
The
you?
fourth Powerpuff.
Yeah, that fucking like incest baby.
No. Bunny.
Oh, the incest,
Bunny.
incest.
She's still in my heart, man.
What's her name? Duh.
Bunny.
Bunny.
Her name is Bunny.
Alright, man.
Remember
Well,
those 3 guys who dressed up as the Powerpuff Girls?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, the comedy.
I like that they've got like Brooklyn accents as well.
And then no one takes
Hey,
them.
Maya.
And they all think that they're the best bits.
And the Boost Girl, Rowdy Ruff.
Rowdy
Rowdy
Ruff
Ruff
Boys.
Boys.
Did you know the original
Good
name?
easy, man.
I think the original name for the Powerpuff Girls was supposed to be the Whoop-Ass Girls or the Kick-Ass Girls. But of course, you couldn't use the word ass in cartoons back then, so the Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff Girls. My favorite another one is Dexter, of course. I love the things they what it called.
Dexter's Laboratory.
The opening songs of all these shows, no? Even like
I think that's the ending. The Dexter's opening was ding 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 Ding, that one. The one played on the xylophone.
Like same thing with Powerpuff Girls. This the opening sequence like Professor Utonium was something
Sugar,
Spice,
and
and
everything
everything
nice.
nice.
These were the
the
secret
ingredients.
ingredients to make the perfect little girl.
But Professor Utonium added a secret ingredient.
Chemical X.
But
Thus, the Powerpuff Girls were born using their ultra superpowers. Okay, I'm nerding out on cartoons again.
And another thing is
Samurai Jack.
oh
How do you like Gendy Tartakovsky's like magnum opus? Like, mwah. I love that show. Huh?
Oh, the show creator.
Yeah.
I thought he meant-
Aku's voice was
Samurai
Mako.
Jack, Samurai Jack,
Aku is
Samurai
such a
Jack.
good villain for a cartoon.
Extra thick. He's always like this, no? Like,
Long ago.
Oh.
Good, isn't it? Long ago.
I, Aku, the shape-shifting master of evil. He was a villain who was evil for the sake of being evil. And I loved him for it.
It was good.
Like, he didn't have any motivation to do, like, it wasn't like, oh, I got wronged, like, you know, like how anime villains have a backstory. So, like, he was like a villain who was born evil, and it's amazing. He's such a good, like, the character is like one of the best. I think Aku.
He just looks like a
Did you-
walking shadow now.
Did you watch the final season that Adult Swim released?
I didn't.
They did. They released a 10-episode final season, which
Connects
which
everything.
ends Samurai Jack completely. It ends the entire show.
Does he go back in time?
So here's the thing. So when this season starts, season 5, Samurai Jack, because he's been thrown into the future, right? He technically became ageless. So he's actually been stuck in the future for over 50 years, but he has never aged.
Oh.
And everyone that he knew has aged and died off.
Oh.
So even that Scottish dude, the one who's
Oh,
got,
that's got his guilt and everything.
yeah. So even he becomes old, and he's got like 100 daughters.
What?
Yeah, and then it continues from there. And that's the first time you see Samurai Jack actually kill an actual human being, because that's the first time like Adult Swim took over. So Adult Swim is
Make it
obviously more adult, right? So he actually, and there you actually see, because till that point he's always been killing robots and cyborgs and evil entities, right? But then when he first time kills a human being, he goes into like this full on like,
Oh shit! They made it dark.
yeah, they made it really dark. It's the ending's a little rushed, but I think it was a nice, it's a nice
Send-off.
send off for something that we've all been watching for such a long time.
Cool. And with that, we can also send off this episode. Look at that segue, man. Look at that
Yes.
segue. So yeah, I think we've been rambling on for another good 1 hour and 30 minutes.
Yeah, we've been rambling for about 1 hour 15.
Okay,
1 hour 12.
that's on the sweet spot of the SciPod. So anyways,
What are we calling this episode?
What would you like to be calling it?
PSY-POD number 10. Ramble on.
The Powerbuff Boys.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
Powerbuff Boys. Okay. Can you Photoshop our faces in Powerpuff Girls?
And come put in
Let's
do that.
put it right here. Let's put it right
We'll
here.
probably have to take a picture in the green screen.
It's just don't cut baby tutup sen guys and
Oh,
there's
yeah.
cutouts.
The Powerbuff Boys.
Powerbuff Boys and then what do you call okay, you want to do the outro?
Oh, okay. So thank you for tuning in to PSY-POD number 10. Hopefully you guys enjoyed us yammering on about films, comic books, cartoons, a little bit of music. And yeah, we've crossed 600 subscribers, right?
Yep.
On Junor.
Yay!
We've got 400 more to go till we get to 1,000. So that's our current target right now. So definitely, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to Junor right here.
And tell your moms, tell your kids, tell your husbands.
Tell your kanchis.
Because everybody ripping everybody around here.
Hide your kids, hide your... Of course, if you want to follow us, you can follow Sai on his YouTube and his Instagram over here. If you want to follow Norla on his YouTube and his Instagram over here.
His YouTube is Junior.
Is Junor, but I think he has his own, right?
Yes.
Yes, he does. So right here.
Hey, SoundCloud, plug your
Yeah.
song, man. Plug your song, man. Plug your song.
If you want to follow me, you can follow me up here. And yeah, subscribe to Junor. Hope you guys had a great time. And this guy is coming out with a new music video, so look forward to that.
Ride with me. And the music video, yeah, more music video. Songs out on SoundCloud. Why don't you plug
With is
that?
silent.
The wait is what?
Ride with me, the with is silent.
Ride.
Ride me.
I didn't get what that was.
Hopefully you guys have a great week ahead. And yeah, for those of you who have been waiting for Get Up future episodes, we are one step closer to making that happen, and we do intend to start shooting pretty soon for the first season, 6 episodes, and we don't know when that's going to come out, but we've just started to work towards it. Yeah.
Okay.
So until the next PSY-POD, this is all of us saying bye bye. Rebecca Moore.
Kaskem Shigio, porn star Matsumina, Zubo.
Three.
But then why did we give him all like